Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Monday, February 5th. Got a 7-game slate today on this Monday. Before we get started looking at this slate, as always, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, make sure you subscribe so you'll never miss out on any of my new uploads. Do upload daily. But yeah, guys, looking at point guard on today's 7-game slate, starting up top at this position. We got Damian Lillard here, got other sort of high-priced options, got Lillard, Kemba, OLADIPO, Lou Will. I think if I'm paying up at this position, one of my 5 plays is going to come from this position. He is point guard and shooting guard eligible. Really like OLADIPO here, especially the price tag. That's one of the reasons I really like OLADIPO today. Just 8,400. He is one of my 5 plays. Think he's too cheap. Not the most optimal matchup against Washington. But at this price tag, OLADIPO really only needs to get you about 42, 43 DraftKings points to pay off this price. And on the year, been averaging 42 DK points. OLADIPO lately has been a little bit inconsistent. 38, 25, 51, 43 DraftKings points his last 4 games. But if OLADIPO is having one of his nice games, he can easily get you 40, 45. And this guy has a lot of upside, can get you definitely 55, 60 DraftKings points if he's playing really, really well. I think OLADIPO, really safe option here. I think you're going to get a pretty nice floor from him. I think he can get you easily 35, close to 40, and he obviously has the tournament upside you want, especially at this price. OLADIPO could easily get maybe even 7x, 6x pretty likely from OLADIPO, but 7x definitely a possibility at just 8,400. So at this price tag, really like OLADIPO today. Obviously, I'm going to prefer him over Dame, over Kemba, over Lou Will. OLADIPO is probably my favorite option if you're going to pay up at this position. But there are plays in this 7K range and like some 6K range players as well. In this 7K price tier, really like Jrue Holiday here. I was on him pretty heavy Saturday night against Minnesota. Didn't have that great of a game, only put up 33 DraftKings points, but he was pretty cheap that game, 7,600. I felt like that was too cheap for Jrue, especially now that Boogie we know done for the season. Now Drew's only 7,200, so the price tag dropped $400. He's going to play a ton of minutes every night if it's a competitive game. Going to have the ball in his hands a lot, especially if Rondo's not playing 35 minutes. Rondo only played like 20 minutes on Saturday after coming off a really nice game. So I think we're going to continue to see Rondo play like 15, 20-ish minutes. Jrue Holiday, AD, those are going to be the guys that get the heavy minutes. I think MIROTIC, now that he's on this team, is a guy that's going to be getting some minutes as well. Those are the 3 guys I'm really looking to target from New Orleans today. And Jrue at point guard or shooting guard, I think he's a really good play if you're going a little bit cheaper at point guard. You don't want to pay up. For OLADIPO, you can definitely go down to Jrue here, especially at 7,200. And then this 6K range, another one of my 5 plays is going to come from this price tier. Ricky Rubio, 6,500, going up against the Pelicans. Been on Rubio a ton lately. Just think he's too cheap for how well he's been playing. You look at his last 4 games, 34, 48, 40, 50 DraftKings points. The minutes have been there for Rubio, 31, 35. Only played 26 minutes against Phoenix because of blowout, and he got in a little bit of foul trouble. I know he got like 2 fouls after halftime, 2 quick fouls that got him to 4, so he did take a seat there, but only played 26 minutes against Phoenix, still put up 40 DK points. Last game against the Spurs, 35 minutes, 50 DK points. Rubio just been playing so well lately. The price tag is still too cheap in my opinion at 6,500. And with Donovan Mitchell questionable, if Mitchell misses, big upgrade for Rubio, going to have the ball in his hands a ton. I think Rubio has another monster game today and is easily able to get you tournament value on this price. Love him in cash and tournaments. Ricky Rubio, 6,500. Really think he's a great play on this slate. Just think he's too cheap for how well he's been playing. He is by far my favorite option. If you're going to that price tier point guard, I just prefer him over DSJ, over Levine, over Murray, Payton, Fox. Definitely think Rubio's the guy I want there. And maybe if we're trying to go cheap and find value at point guard or shooting guard, I think SATORANSKY could definitely be a value play. He's been playing really well. Just making starts for John Wall with Wall out. SATORANSKY's been getting the job done his last 4 games. He started all 4 games and has put up 26, 24, 22, and 36 DraftKings points. So he's given you a solid floor lately of about 20 to 22 points. And he did show the upside in his last game, putting up 36. I think you can go to SATORANSKY if you just need a cheap play. Definitely not like my favorite value on the slate, but he is a guy that makes sense if you're going 5K and under at point guard. We could also get some value from Dallas today. Harrison Barnes is questionable as I'm recording this on Sunday night, so that maybe can open up Barea or Farrell as value plays. Good chance the Mavs run a lot of 3-guard lineups if Harrison Barnes is out, which could lead to maybe Barea or Farrell getting more minutes. So I think they're value plays you could consider. Right now, that's really the only value I'm seeing at point guard. If I'm going sub 5K here, 5K and under, I think like maybe if we could go to Dallas, they could open up value there with Barnes. Or you could play Satoransky. Not sure if I want to play Rondo. Would only go there in tournaments just because the minutes, you don't really know what the minutes are going to be. So I think that's it for point guard value. Moving on to shooting guard. Looking at this position, got some top options here. Brad Beal. Obviously, Lou Will's eligible here. Starting off with Brad Beal up top. Don't think I'm paying up for him on this slate, especially when he's almost 9K. I would much rather take the savings off of Beal. Go down to OLADIPO, who you can get for $500 cheaper, and who is also shooting guard eligible. I would also take the almost 2K savings from Beal. Go down to Jrue Holiday. Really like those savings you get as well. Just don't think I'm paying up for shooting guard today unless I'm playing Oladipo or Jrue Holiday here. But in this mid tier, if we want to go here, not seeing a ton of plays that just stick out to me as being great options. I think Wesley Matthews sees a pretty nice boost at 5,300. If Harrison Barnes is out today, he could be a guy that we play at shooting guard if we want to go to him. Definitely going to need him to score the ball a little bit more if Barnes is out. We know Wesley Matthews is always going to play a ton of minutes, especially if it's a competitive game. Should be a competitive game here against the Clippers. Both of these teams are not very good. And Matthews, when games have been competitive this year, has played a lot of minutes, so I do really like him in that 5K, 6K price range, that mid-tier. If you're going there in shooting guard, he's a guy that I think stands out to me, especially if Harrison Barnes is out today. And then the value at shooting guard, if we want to go for value here, you can play Satoransky here. Another position where I'm not seeing a ton of cheap value, I think maybe Mario HEZONJA could be a value play, especially if Aaron Gordon is out today. Most baits has been starting for Aaron Gordon lately these last few games when Gordon's been out. But HEZONJA's still been getting nice minutes off the bench. He's been giving you a solid floor lately, putting up over 21 DraftKings points in 4 straight games. The minutes been pretty consistent, although they haven't been very high. Still playing mid-20s in minutes. You know what you're going to get from him. Mid-20s, close to 30 minutes, DraftKings points-wise. He's going to give you at least probably 20 DraftKings points with upside close to 30. And he does match up well with Kelly Olynyk. HEZONJA does play the 4 when he comes off the bench, so I'm not really sure why he's shooting guard eligible on DK. But he is a value play that I do like if you're going 5K and under. If Aaron Gordon's out today, I think he's a good option we could consider. That's really what I'm seeing for shooting guard value, at least for cheap plays. So let's go ahead and move on to small forward and talk about this position. You got Aaron Gordon up top here, who is questionable as I'm recording this Sunday night. I'm not really a big fan of Aaron Gordon today, even if he does play. This Miami team, they do have good defenders. James Johnson, a really good defender. I think Gordon could struggle here, and at 7,800, I'm not really trying to jam him in on this slate. Would much rather get up to Oladipo, who is a guy that's in that similar price range who I'd much rather have, or go down to like Jrue Holiday, who I'd also much rather have. This position overall is pretty gross in my opinion. I think Otto Porter's the most attractive play at this position, but now that he's priced up to 7,100, definitely not a must play or a lock by any means. Although he's been playing well at this price, you need at least 35 DraftKings points from Porter. He can get there. His last 3 games, he's gotten 43, 42, and 35 DK points. Been playing well with John Wall off the court. You could play Porter here, but like I said, it's 7,100. Definitely not a guy I'm trying to force in by any means. So looking to go a little bit cheaper. If we want to go maybe to this mid-tier, the 6K range, just not a lot of plays here that I see are like great must plays that you definitely have to have. I think small forward might be a position we kind of wait for value. You could play Wesley Matthews here, who I think is definitely a good option if Harrison Barnes is out. If you're going for cheap value, I don't see a lot that stands out to me. Maybe like Jonathan Simmons, if Aaron Gordon's out, you could play him at 4,700. You want to play Buddy Hield, you want to take that risk. Hopefully Hield, if you play him, he's making his shots. You could play him at 4,600. But like I said, another position where I'm just not seeing a ton of cheap value I love, just a gross position in general. I think Wes Matthews, like paying up for Porter if you can. Those are the preferred options here. You could go to like Will Barton. You could play Gallinari. If you want to go like down to Trey Lyles, he's only 5,300. He's got a nice price. You could play him. But that's really what I'm seeing as small forward. At least plays that stick out to me that I really like. So moving on to power forward. Looking up top here, you got Anthony Davis up top of this position. Definitely our most expensive stud on the slate. He's the only guy over 10K. Next most expensive guy is Andre Drummond, who's $2,000 cheaper. So pay enough for Anthony Davis. Going to be something you probably want to do here, even though the matchup against Utah is not great. Anthony Davis just been giving you such a high floor. With Boogie done for the season, AD going to be the number 1 guy for the Pelicans, even with MIROTIC coming over to New Orleans. AD's still been playing well in that game against Minnesota. MIROTIC played really well, but so did AD. He got the job done for you. 56 DraftKings points, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 steals. Just look at the game log lately with Boogie off the court. AD been so consistent. 60, 61, 64, 56 DraftKings points. If it's a competitive game, he's going to play nearly 40 minutes. Just a great play on the slate. Not the best matchup, but raw points. I think you take that from Anthony Davis here. I think it gives you at least 45 to 50. And we obviously know he has a ton of upside where he can get you close to 70 or more. Not going to include Anthony Davis in the 5 plays for today, but he is definitely a guy that's going to be on my radar. One of the reasons I'm not going to include him in the 5 because power forward, do see some really good plays here that you can go to that are cheaper. In this mid-tier, a lot of good options here, I think. You could play Bobby Portis today with Lauri Markkanen already ruled out, with MIROTIC now on the Pelicans. Bobby Portis going to get all the power forward minutes. Hopefully he starts. I know Paul Zipser started. I don't know if it was like 1 game or 2 games ago, but Paul Zipser got the start. He didn't play hardly any minutes. Portis played most of the minutes off the bench. If he's going to play close to 30 minutes against this Kings team, he should absolutely be able to crush this price tag. He is priced up to 6,200, but I think that's still too cheap for Portis, especially given today's matchup. Definitely like him in that mid-tier, but one of the reasons I'm not going to include him as well is because there are 2 plays that are cheaper that I really like today. First off, NIKOLA Mirotic in that matchup against the Jazz. Love Mirotic here, just 5,800 with his new team. He played really well the first game for the Pelicans against Minnesota, put up 48 DraftKings points in his debut, had 18 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block, played 35 minutes. He did not start in that game. Mirotic did come off the bench, but the minutes were still there for him. He played really well. And this price tag for Mirotic, if he's going to play 30 to 35 minutes at 5,800, just too cheap of a price. This dude's going to score the ball when he's on the court. He's going to grab rebounds. Always a threat for a double-double. Really like Mirotic here at 5,800. And another play that I really like in that mid-tier for a little bit cheaper is DOMANTAS Sabonis going up against Washington. Sabonis is a play that we're going to have to watch for injury news. Really only like him if injuries break our way, and Miles Turner is out today. Miles Turner is questionable as I'm recording this on Sunday night. If he misses, Sabonis will most likely start at center and going to see probably 25 to 30 minutes, if not more than that. When Sabonis has gotten minutes this year, he's been able to get the job done for you, and if he's going to start and play 30 minutes at 5,500, I think he's pretty much a lock today. Just a great value play on this slate if Miles Turner is indeed ruled out. So really like Sabonis for value. If you want to play him at power forward or center, I think he's a really good option if you're trying to go cheap here. And then my final play of my 5 plays is right in that same price range as well. Kelly Olynyk going up against the Magic. Really like Kelly Olynyk here. Last game, Hassan Whiteside was ruled out, and Kelly Olynyk did start at power forward for James Johnson. Bam Adebayo got the start at center for Whiteside. You would think Whiteside being out would really only help Bam Adebayo when it comes to minutes, but Kelly Olynyk does see more minutes when Whiteside is out. Played 40 minutes last game against Detroit and put up 38 DraftKings points. You could obviously play Bam if Whiteside misses today, but Bam's up to 4,600. I think I'd rather just find the $600 and get up to Olynyk, who I feel much more comfortable with, who I know is going to be able to give me at least close to 20 DraftKings points, if not more than that, and definitely can get 30, 35. I think Olynyk, really good cash play on the slate at 5,200. Just too cheap in my opinion if Whiteside's out. And in tournaments, he's a great play as well. Can definitely get you 7, possibly even 8x on this price tag. Really good value play in my opinion. Definitely like Kelly Olynyk on this slate. Another guy I see at power forward you can use if you're trying to go cheap. I'd much rather have Olynyk over Frank Kaminsky, even though Kaminsky's most likely going to continue to start for Marvin Williams if Williams is ruled out. I think I feel better with Olynyk, especially if Whiteside misses. Olynyk's the guy I want if I'm going to that 5K range, minus Sabonis and Mirotic. Do really like Olynyk here. And then going for 5K and under for the cheap value, not really seeing a lot that stands out to me. Like you could play Mo Spates again if Aaron Gordon's out and Mo Spates continue to start. I know last game against Washington, Mo Spates did get the start, but I believe HEZONJA started the second half for him. He only played 18 minutes. In the 3 games that he started for Aaron Gordon, he has put up 31, 29, and then 12 DraftKings points. Been getting enough minutes to where he could pay off this price tag, but I think better value will probably open up on this slate to where we won't really have to consider Spates. So I'm not sure if I want to go to him at power forward, just not sure if I need to really go cheap at this position and punt this position. I think the good plays are right in this 5K range with Mirotic, Sabonis, Olynyk. Those are the guys I really see here that stand out to me. So moving on to center. Looking at center today and talking about plays I haven't already mentioned. You got Drummond, Jokic, Howard all up top here. Drummond's not in the best spot against Portland. Jokic, not in the best spot either, going up against Howard. And then Howard on the other side, definitely priced down to 8,600, but I'm not sure if I want to pay up for him on this slate. I think I would prefer like the guards over the expensive centers. Obviously, Anthony Davis is a great play on the slate, but like the 8K guards like Kemba, I think I prefer Kemba over some of these expensive centers. Would obviously prefer OLADIPO over some of these guys. Just not sure if I'm going to be paying up for center in general unless I play AD here. So looking to go cheaper. If you're not going to play any of these guys that I have in my 5 plays that are center eligible, you could definitely play some of these 7K range, or some of these guys in the 7K range, like Rudy Gobert. I think he's a guy that's going to have to play a lot of minutes here. Going to need him to guard Anthony Davis. Gobert most likely going to play 30 or more minutes if it's a competitive game. We know he's going to get you points and rebounds when he's on the court. He gets blocks as well. Can definitely get you that double-double bonus pretty easily here. At 7,400, pretty likely Gobert is able to pay off this price tag. He's a guy that I like at center. If you're not wanting to pay up to the top, I definitely like him in that mid-tier if you're going a little bit cheaper. Also really like Jusuf Nurkic as well. If you're going to this mid-tier, feel like this is a spot where he's going to have to play minutes. Going to need Nurkic to play close to 30 minutes in this game against Detroit. Now that they have Blake Griffin, we obviously know they have Drummond. Nurkic's going to have to be on the court. They've got that big front court. They're going to need Nurkic to guard Drummond, to guard Blake Griffin. And like I said, there's a good chance he plays close to 30 minutes here. And when Nurkic gets minutes, can get the rebounds, can get you the points as well. And at 6,300, pretty likely he's able to pay off this price if he gets the minutes, which I think he's going to today. So I do like him in that mid-tier as well. You also have Portis in that mid-tier for $100 less, who's a really good play today. And then trying to go for value here, if we're looking to go cheap, 5K and under, I'm not seeing a ton of cheap plays that really stand out to me. At least looking at this slate the night before, I'm down I'm going to be going 5K and under at center unless value opens up. You could play Bam if Whiteside's out, but that's kind of a risky play. I played Bam on Saturday, I believe it was, against Detroit. He didn't do much. He's got pretty nice minutes, 24 minutes, but only put up 12 DraftKings points. It was a disappointing game. But Bam has shown upside this year. Got 41 DraftKings points in 29 minutes against the Sixers. You could play him if Whiteside's out today. But I think I'd prefer just to get up to OLYNYK for just 600 more, who I feel a lot more comfortable with. So I think that's pretty much it for center today, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, just make sure you give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or just leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the vid, and good luck tonight on this slate. Peace, guys.